Rated T for teen.
I think it was pretty daunting ask, when we started working with Passion Pictures, because we're like, okay, we need something that's going to blow people away when they first boot up their game, and it basically has to chronicle the entire career of the Beatles in 2 minutes. Go for it.
Yeah. Pretty early there was a piece of art that came through, but it was the Abbey Road scene, and you see people rushing by. The Beatles actually run by, early Beatles run by themselves from Abbey Road, and there's like a little bit of a gag there. At first we were a little bit like, oh, we can't do that, that's not temporally correct, but just like seconds later we were like, wait a minute, that's really cool, we should maybe do that. So it loosened us up a little bit.
We really wanted to ride that line of like, put in imagery that people will recognize, but not have it be so obvious that it's like, duh, like really literal stuff.
We've seen people put up videos on the internet of themselves narrating over the film, thinking that they've picked out everything that we put in there, and the fact is that they didn't come close, and sometimes they actually just invented some that they thought were there, which I think is the beauty. The elephant, referencing the India trip and sort of the influence on George's music in particular, but really the whole band. We didn't quite want to go with obvious religious symbols, so we sort of expanded on it, and Pete and his team did a really cool job creating this creature, which we call the rhinophant. And, half of us were in love with it the minute we saw it, and the other half were just like, what the hell is that? That cannot go in this movie. But, it worked, and it was really cool. And once we saw it moving, and it just totally made sense. For the final shot of the cinematic, we didn't want it to feel like it was the end of the movie or the end of anything. And I remember in particular, Giles had given us a bunch of comments on how he didn't want anything in any of these bits and pieces of the game to ever feel like it was the end, right? Because we weren't trying to do this historical thing for the Beatles that we know took place and happened in a certain way. It was really meant to be like a way to enjoy and experience the Beatles in a different way than people have already.